What's up, it's Cody, welcome back to the channel. Now today, I'm gonna be showing you the absolute best, #1 free Spotify playlist that nobody seems to be talking about. And I'm sure most of you know just how important Spotify playlists can be to help you grow your audience and expand to new fans. But for some reason, nobody ever talks about this playlist and it always seems to get left out. So I thought today I would cover it and break down exactly what this playlist is and how you can get onto it for free. So if you do find this video helpful, be sure to hit the like button down below, make that little thumbs up turn blue, it really helps out me and my channel so much, so thank you in advance if you can do that. Okay, so when you release a new song to Spotify, you can submit it to the editorial team to see if they want to feature it on one of their playlists. Now, while this can be really helpful to get the ball rolling on a new release, you can't rely entirely on Spotify to playlist your song as your marketing campaign. But Spotify gives you one of the best opportunities for free marketing to your fans, which on Spotify, they call it your followers. Now, your followers on Spotify are gonna see your new music pop up in 3 different places, featured in the Spotify app, on a personalized new release email, and on the #1 best free Spotify playlist there is, their Release Radar playlist. Yes, that is right, it is the Release Radar playlist. Now, if you're not familiar with what the Release Radar playlist is, it's where listeners go to find new releases from their favorite artists who they follow. It's updated on a weekly basis, collecting everything new into one place. Now, what gets put into someone's Release Radar playlist is based on not only their listening history, but also artists they follow. So the more followers you have, the more playlists that you're gonna be in. So if you have a new song that's coming out on Friday, and you have 1,000 followers right now, that means on Friday when your new song comes out, you're gonna be featured on 1,000 different playlists. And even more so, if you have 10,000 followers, you'll be featured on 10,000 different playlists. Now, for some reason, this is something that gets so overlooked by so many people in the music industry. The more followers that you have on Spotify, the more playlists you're gonna be in. So how come you're not building your Spotify following? Way too often with music and being in a band, we focus on trying to build our social medias, like build up our Facebook likes and build up our Instagram likes. But really, it's our Spotify followers that we should be focusing on the most. Now, while having lots of social media followers on Instagram and TikTok can be really helpful and a great way to engage with our fans, our goal should be to convert our social media following over to a Spotify following. Because at the end of the day, we're gonna see a lot more music streams and do a lot better on Spotify if we're able to convert our social media following over to Spotify. Now, this is much easier said than done. One of the hardest things to do on any site is get somebody to click on a link that's gonna take them to a different site. When someone's on Instagram and scrolling through Instagram, they're gonna wanna stay there as long as possible. It's part of human nature and it's part of the brain works. We keep scrolling to see what's new. But if you're able to just get them to click over to Spotify for 1 second to hit that follow button, it's gonna help drastically increase our release day numbers, which is gonna help with long-term performance of the song over time. Now, where Spotify gets interesting and compared to other social medias is when it comes to our followers, listeners, and likes. Normally, when you post something on Instagram, the amount of followers really doesn't matter. It's about the engagement. How many likes does it get? How many comments does it get? How many people message you about that post? But on Spotify, it's a little bit different. The streams and our monthly listeners aren't as important as our following. Our following are people who are fans of our music. It can be very easy for an artist or even Spotify to artificially inflate some of these streaming numbers or your monthly listeners. The number of monthly listeners that an artist has on Spotify can fluctuate drastically month to month. If an artist is busy releasing a lot of music, they'll have a lot more monthly listeners if they're getting playlisted on Spotify and their song's hot at the moment. But as time goes down, those monthly listeners will slowly drown out and become less and less. So it's important that we keep our followers up because these are the true fans of our band. You don't want to see any crazy ratio of monthly listeners to followers. For example, if an artist has 100,000 monthly listeners, but only 1,000 followers, then they have a 100-to-1 ratio of monthly listeners to followers. That's probably not a sustainable number for the long term, and if any music industry professionals are looking at those numbers, they know that the true long-term performance of this band isn't going to be as strong, whereas if they had more followers and less monthly listeners. For example, if that same band drops down to only 20,000 monthly listeners, but has 5,000 followers, now they have just a 4-to-1 ratio of listeners to followers, and that's gonna look a lot better, and it's gonna lead to better long-term performance for that artist. So while Spotify can have some skewed numbers because of playlisting, if as an artist we just focus on building our following rather than our stream numbers or our monthly listeners, we're gonna see a lot better long-term performance than we will in the short term if we just focus on those other two. So it's important to remember that anybody can get a lot of monthly listeners or a lot of streams on a couple songs if they're playlisted right on Spotify, but that doesn't mean that the long-term performance is gonna be there. We we need to focus on our followers because those are our fans at the end of the day. So now that we know that every follower on Spotify means one new playlist that we're gonna get added to when we release new music, I think we need to start making a shift from social media over to Spotify. We need to go get all of our Instagram followers and all of our TikTok followers. We need to pull them over to Spotify because at the end of the day, that's where we're gonna see the most growth from our fans. And not only that, if we do wanna start working with management or a booking agent or even a record label, they're gonna look at these numbers and they're gonna look at the different ratios between our followers and our monthly listeners. And if those numbers aren't lining up, or if they have a really big separation, like a 100-to-1 ratio, as I mentioned earlier, that's not gonna look very good on us as the artist. So we need to start building our following on Spotify today and convert our fans into followers on Spotify. So is Spotify's Release Radar playlist not the absolute #1 best free playlist out there? Drop a comment down below and let me know if you agree or disagree. If there's a different playlist that you like, drop it down there. Let me know. I'd love to hear about your favorite playlist. And as always, if you did find this video helpful, be sure to give it a like, hit that little thumbs up down below. It really helps out me and my channel and gets this video seen by many more people. And if you want to stay up to date with more music related content just like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.